Bali dibe. boys, put your hands up in the air now. So put your hands up in the air, which means surrender to the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna.
His divine grace, AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, ISKCON's founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, Anant Kuri Vaishnava Vrinda Ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki, Prem Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasri Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki, Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kundrat Kund Giri Govardhan Ki, Shri Vrindavan Dan Ki, Shri Mayapur Dan Ki, Shri Jagannath Puri Dan Ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi Ki, Shri Shingatai Gaura Sundari Ki, Shri Radha Radhanath Ki, Shri Giri Govardhan Ki, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki, Shri Prabhupada Ki, Gopremanande, all glories to this devotees, all glories to this devotees, all glories to this devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. On behalf of the Namahatta and the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, founded by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, a very warm welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very beautiful Friday evening. It is so nice to see so many faces here, so many of you all. Is there anybody that's joining us for the very first time this evening that has come to the Namahatta? Please raise your hand. Let's give them a round of applause. I will a very special warm welcome to you all, and we look forward to seeing you all at our future Namahatta programs as well. It is my honor and privilege in introducing our speaker for this evening, His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami. A huge round of applause to him. I know we all have been very eagerly anticipating this evening's program, as we all look forward to Maharaj's class very, very much. His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj is a disciple of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Maharaj has been preaching Krishna consciousness since 1973. Haribol. Maharaj is also an initiating spiritual master in ISKCON and serves on the GDC. Maharaj travels extensively all over the world to countries like Russia, India, and here in South Africa. Maharaj is an accomplished author, photographer, and filmmaker. And one of his most notable activities is documenting his pilgrimages in the holy land of Vrindavan, where devotees can immerse themselves in the pastimes of Lord Krishna and deeply connect with the Lord. So we are very, very privileged in having Maharaj here with us this evening, and I will now hand you over to him. Let's give another round of applause.
I'm born with fear of cartels, please. I will return that. Shri Singale Prabhupada Ki, Shri Prahlad Maharaj Ki, Shri Prabhupada Ki, Go Premanande. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
How nice to be here with you all. I hope all is well on this warm Friday evening. Nice and warm. Yes, well, I was told I must speak about love and compassion. Is that correct? Love and compassion? Love. Sorry? What? Oh, love and cooperation, excuse me. And compassion. Throw a little compassion somewhere. Right, yes, okay, love and cooperation. So, in that regard, I will read a verse from Bhagavad Gita, as it is, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And it's from the 12th chapter, which is titled Devotional Service. And I'm going to read verse 9, chapter 12, verse 9. But first of all, just please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Let's just move this. That will do. Yes, so here we go. Bhagavad Gita chapter 12, verse 9. Please listen carefully. Atachitam samadatum nashachnoshi maistira abhyasa yogena tato mam ichchatum dhananjaya. Translation. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this verse, two different processes of Bhakti Yoga are indicated. The first applies to one who has actually developed an attachment for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by transcendental love. And the other is for one who has not developed an attachment for the Supreme Person by transcendental love. For this second class, there are different prescribed rules and regulations one can follow to be ultimately elevated to the stage of attachment to Krishna. Bhakti Yoga is the purification of the senses. At the present moment in material existence, the senses are always impure, being engaged in sense gratification. But by the practice of Bhakti Yoga, these senses can become purified. And in the purified state, they come directly in contact with the Supreme Lord. in this material existence. I may be engaged in some service to some master, but I don't really lovingly serve my master. I simply serve to get some money. And the master also is not in love. He takes service from me and pays me. So there's no question of love. But for spiritual life, one must be elevated to the pure stage of love. That stage of love can be achieved by practice of devotional service, performed with the present senses. This love of God is now in a dormant state in everyone's heart. And their love of God is manifested in different ways, but it is contaminated by material association. Now the heart has to be purified of the material association, and that dormant natural love for Krishna has to be revived. That is the whole process. To practice the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, one should, under the guidance of an expert spiritual master, follow certain principles. One should rise early in the morning, take bath, enter the temple, and offer prayers and chant Hare Krishna. Then collect flowers to offer to the deity, cook foodstuffs to offer to the deity, take prasadam, and so on. There are various rules and regulations which one should follow. And one should constantly hear Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotees. This practice can help anyone rise to the level of love of God. And then he is sure of his progress into the spiritual kingdom of God. This practice of Bhakti Yoga, under the rules and regulations, with the direction of a spiritual master, will surely bring one to the stage of love of God. Let me just read the verse again. Atachitam saladatum nashit noshi manistiram abhyasi yoge natato namichatum dhananjaya. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Excuse me. Namahatta Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishna Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Dede Gauravan Pracharya Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Bhasti Chari Chitaya Vanchikapaturibhyascha Kripa Sindhurya Evacha Paritana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Well, devotees, this verse is one of, actually the second one in a sequence of verses in which Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna, here in this 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he explains the different stages of development, of advancement in Krishna consciousness to the point of perfection, of actually developing real love for the Lord. So he explains these things. Interestingly enough, he explains them in reverse. In reverse, starting from love of God, and this is the second verse. If you haven't got love of God, then, next stage down, follow regulative principles, and gradually you'll develop an attraction for Krishna, and you'll lose interest in this material world. And then he goes on, that if you can't follow these rules and regulations, then work for Krishna. Do something useful for Krishna. And there's all sorts of things you can do for Krishna. And then he says, if you cannot work for me, then be charitable. Be charitable. Don't be, don't be a Scrooge. Do you know what I mean? Scrooge. Mr. Scrooge from Oliver Twist. Or Scrooge McDuck from the comics that I read many years ago. But then if you cannot give charity, cultivate knowledge. So this is the sequence in reverse. From the highest stage of having pure love for the Lord and just being absorbed and thinking about the Lord in a mood of love. And in that way, just being absorbed in serving the Lord without needing anything like to sort of control you or keep you pointed in the right direction, because you're just totally into it, totally 100%. But now this idea of rules and regulations means that you're being controlled, you could say. At least rules and regulations are there which you should follow. Should we do something? Is it this thing, is it? Which is...
Put the speaker down, tie it down. There you go.
We can always just put this down so it won't cause it.
Put the speaker there and tie it down.
He is a PhD. He will know what to do. He will solve the problem. Yes, okay. So that's the sequence. And it starts with verse 8 and goes on till, I forget exactly, 12 or 13 or something along those lines. From the highest level down to a level which is, you just cultivate knowledge. And the idea is you cultivate knowledge and you'll get some knowledge, not just knowledge about anything, but knowledge about Krishna. And in that way you may become inspired to do something for Krishna, and step by step you may progress. And just an interesting point in that regard, what Krishna says, that if you can't even be charitable, or maybe you can't afford it, then cultivate knowledge. Just see what Prabhupada did. When I moved into the temple in London on January the 7th, 1973. Where were you on January the 7th, 1973? I know where I was. Anyway, in those days, we didn't really distribute Prabhupada's books. We just went out chanting in the streets of London, central London, the whole day. Well, from say 9-ish, and then we'd come back for lunch at 1, and then we'd go out again about 2-ish, and we'd come back about 6-ish, and we just did Harinam. It was an intense program. It really was intense. And what made it even more intense was that the police did not appreciate us. And they would try to arrest us, and we would have to run in sort of London slang. It's called doing a legger. It's a London slang, East London slang, like almost Cockney. So, but anyway, that's what we did. But then after a little while, maybe 6 months, something like that, then the word came from Srila Prabhupada that rather than chanting in the streets, he wanted us to distribute his books. So the whole program changed. And all the same devotees who used to go out chanting would now go out distributing his books. Saturday nights we'd go out chanting in the streets. So that now this is in keeping what Krishna says, that if you're in a position where you're not ready to serve, you're not ready to be charitable, or maybe you can't afford it. So what to do? Cultivate knowledge about Krishna. And that's what Prabhupada was doing, printing these books by the millions. And we were just distributing them in the streets. Anyway, the point here particularly is love and cooperation and compassion. Yes, very nice theme. Wonderful theme, actually. And Srila Prabhupada, in the purport, if you were listening carefully, sometimes you know what we do. We read the purport, we tell everyone to listen. Do you remember me doing that?
Yes.
Or did you forget that? Well, you but he's a PhD. So, yes, sometimes we read that. We tell the devotees, listen carefully, please. And then when we've read the purport, we ask the devotees questions on what we just read. Should we do that this evening? No, it's okay. Anyway. Yes. So, it's nice. It's extremely nice. In fact, it's just the most wonderful thing, really. If someone, a devotee, is on that level where they just love Krishna, and they're ready literally to do anything at all if they know that Krishna, that's what Krishna wants them to do for them. Yes, and to not need any prompting or any pressure or any bribery like your job. It's bribery, isn't it? In a sense, something like that. Yes. You know, this type of consciousness of love, just independent for anything else is displayed very nicely by Prahlad Maharaj in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. After Lord Nrsimhadev kills Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad's father, and that Hiranyakashipu was just like a monstrous demon. He was absolutely the worst of the worst. He had been trying to kill Prahlad, his little son, 5 years old. He'd been trying to kill him in all sorts of ghastly ways. I mean, there's no nice way to kill a person, but these are like really extreme. But then Lord Nrsimhadev came and killed Hiranyakashipu. And then, just more or less immediately after, just maybe some minutes after or so, Prahlad Maharaj approached Lord Nrsimhadev with a garland and garlanded him and bowed down in front of him and then offered prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev. After he offered those prayers, Lord Nrsimhadev said to Prahlad, "Prahlad, please ask me for something. Just ask me for something." And Prahlad felt, I don't need anything. I don't want anything. What to speak of need anything? So he said, he replied that, "It's okay, my Lord. Thank you. Thank you very much. But I don't need anything. It's okay." But then Lord Nrsimhadev said that, "Okay, that's all right. But the thing is, I want to give you something. So you please ask me for something. Just anything." And Prahlad said, "Well, you know, I have you, and I have service to you, and I don't need anything else, and I don't want anything else. So, thank you," as they say, thanks, but no thanks. Yeah. So, just, you know, don't worry. And then Lord Nrsimhadev said, "Listen, Prahlad, I want to give you something, so I order you. You must ask for something." And so Prahlad is sort of caught. And actually, just a moment before that, Prahlad says, when Prahlad told the Lord that, you know, I have you, and I have service to you, what else do I need? Then Prahlad said that if I, in order to become ready to serve you, if I must be given something, otherwise I won't serve you, then what am I? What is the question of love? And if you, in order to get me to serve you, you must give me something, otherwise I will not serve you, then what's your position? And Prahlad said, then we just become like businessmen. Business means you're trying to sell me something, I want to buy it, but when we haggle about the price, and you ask for, 10 rands, I say I'll give you 5, and eventually we settle on something in between. And it's just business. There's no question of love. We're just businessmen. The Sanskrit term is varnik. Varnik means businessman. And Prahlad says, so I don't want to be a businessman at all, and particularly not with you. So therefore, please don't ask me again for something. And that's when Lord Nrsimhadev said, listen, Prahlad, I am ordering you. You must ask for something. So, but you know what Prahlad asked for? He did not ask for, big Lani house in Westville. Or, where are we? What's it? La Mercy, big Lani house in big Lani house. Somewhere. In Chatsworth. In Chats. Unit 5. Yeah, no, he didn't ask for that. He didn't ask for big motor car, or he didn't ask for anything for himself. He had to think about it momentarily. And then Prahlad said to Lord Nrsimhadev that, you just killed my father just a couple of minutes ago. And he was such an extremely bad person. And therefore he's sure to go to hell. Sure to go to hell. So my Lord, my request of you is, please save my father from going to hell. You see, this is compassion. Prahlad is a loving devotee. He loves the Lord. And so there's just no question of him wanting some payment or something of that sort at all. Because he loves the Lord. And as a natural sort of, you could say, component or aspect, feature of that love is compassion. That he had compassion for his father, even though his father was the most ghastly, horrific, mass murderer of all time. Probably he would have made Adolf Hitler look like a philanthropist. Or something like that. And Hiranyakashipu, he was incredible. He was just simply incredible. In the horrors that he perpetrated on people, and even on his own 5-year-old little son. So, in that way we see the difference between a demon and a devotee. That what did Prahlad do against his father? He's only 5. He can't really do anything. All he did was become attached to Lord Vishnu, who Hiranyakashipu, the father, really didn't appreciate. But actually, he didn't do anything. He didn't tell his father that you leave me alone or I will call Lord Vishnu to come and sort you out. Give you a what happened and just, straighten you out. He never said anything like that. Really, he never said anything. He just tolerated the abuse. Yeah. So he never did anything against his father, but his father treated him so extremely badly. But then his father was killed, and what did Prahlad do? He did not have a farewell party, so to speak, a celebration. Now my demoniac father is dead. Wonderful, applause, something like that. Let's have a feast. When Lord Chaitanya was staying in Jagannath Puri, there was one, not a demon, he was a devotee, but he was a very critically minded devotee. His name was Ramachandra Puri. You may know the story. I won't go through the whole story, but he would visit people right at the super critical time when lunch is about to be actually served on the plate. He somehow had a feel for that. He could just arrive at the very right moment. And he would be invited, because he's very senior, elderly devotee. He'd be invited, oh, please sit down, we will feed you. And he would say, no. I just came from the association. And then he would sit there and watch the devotee having lunch. And he probably had one of these little black notebooks. And he would note down, okay, 1 roti, 2 roti, 3 rotis, and 1 spoonful of sabji, and 2 spoonfuls, and 3, and he note all these things down. And then he criticized the devotee. And he did that with everyone. And finally he did it with Lord Chaitanya himself. And then he left town, and he just, because he was like a traveling mendicant, so after a few weeks he moved on to the next place. And you know what the devotees did? Some of the devotees celebrated. They actually celebrated that this nonsense rascal, criticizer of Vaishnavas, has gone. Let us celebrate. So the thing is here, what Lord Krishna is saying, that if you're on that level where you just love the Lord and you just have absolutely no interest at all in anything else, at all, then okay, you've made it. You've perfected your life. But if you haven't reached that point, you like Krishna, and you like serving Krishna, but sometimes you get a bit attracted to some other things. And, like that, maybe you watch a little what? Huh? Did you say Bollywood? I thought that was what you said. I'm sorry. But anyway, you just get distracted from Krishna. And maybe you watch television, or you go to watch Manchester United playing soccer, or India playing cricket against, I don't know who, somebody. And then you chant your rounds afterwards. Or if maybe you're into multitasking, you chant your rounds while watching the cricket. So that means you haven't got that absolute love for the Lord, which totally obliterates any interest in anything else. Anything else at all. You haven't got that. But you've got some appreciation, some attachment. You're sort of in the middle somewhere between material life and full Krishna consciousness. So what to do? Well, you're in a situation where you need to be controlled. I used the word a few minutes ago. Like that. You need to be regulated. You need some direction. It's not that you always know spontaneously exactly what Krishna wants. So maybe you need someone to sometimes run around behind you. Thank you. And tell you, don't do this, do that. Something along those lines. something like a spiritual master, or at least like a mentor, a counselor, who can keep their eye on you. Keep their eye on you. And if you do take a little wrong turning, they can try and get you back on the straight and narrow. So if you carry on like that, doing the right things because you're being directed like that. You're being directed to do the right things, and if you take an interest in the wrong thing, you get directed back to the right thing. Then gradually, eventually, you'll come to that point of spontaneous love for the Lord. It takes a while, but it will happen. Prabhupada actually specifically makes this point here, that there are various rules and regulations which you should follow, and this practice can help anyone rise to the level of love of God. And then you're sure to go to the spiritual kingdom of God. Well, anyone includes you. Yes. There are no exceptions at all. Someone might be sitting here thinking, oh, come on, not me. Who am I? What am I? But no, you're included in anyone. You're part of anyone or everyone. Yes, so that's nice. So, of course, I know many of you looking around, I recognize many of you, but I don't know all of you. So I don't know. Maybe someone here or someone's here are on that level of spontaneous love for the Lord. Not likely, but I don't know. What can I say? But for everyone else, let us do that. Let us practice devotional service. Like when you learn to drive a motor car. Do you know how to drive a motor car? Not yet? What's your age? How many?
17.
And you don't know how to drive a motor car? My mother taught me to drive when I was 13. And I got my license when I was 15. That's New Zealand, it's a different orientation. Yeah, okay. But you learn how to drive a motor car, or you just go to school and you're just learning things all the time about all sorts of things. So when you're learning things, Hare Krishna, Yamuna, are you okay? Good. Nice to see you. So when you're learning things, at first you don't know, but then you learn, and after a while you know. It may be a language, or it may be some mathematical things, trigonometry, calculus. Just learn how to use a computer. I remember the first computer I got in New York. One devotee named Sridhar Swami, really nice devotee. He bought me my first computer. But I had not used a computer before, and I didn't know what to do. And, being like many people, I didn't bother with the instruction manual. But I figured out where was the on button, and I got it on. But then I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. So I don't know what I did. Maybe I just pressed the on button again. Yeah, but after a while you learn how to use a computer or a motor car or whatever it may be, anything. So similarly with Krishna consciousness, the principle at least applies, at least to some degree, that if we practice and learn and really make efforts to step forward, and if we are nicely guided and directed, like, what's your next step? What's my next step? That sort of thing. Then just like, in a sense, just like with anything, you'll become expert. You'll become perfect in whatever it is, but in this case, in devotional service. There is an extra special consideration when it comes to Krishna consciousness. It's not just that you learn it and you study it and you practice it and you get it. Practice makes perfect, that sort of idea. The thing is that Krishna consciousness is there within our hearts already. Love for Krishna is already there. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Saja Kabul Noi, Lord Chaitanya says, the eternal perfection of love for Krishna is within the heart of every living entity. Yes, and Shravanadi Shuddhachite Kareye Udoy. If one practices Shravanadi, if one engages in devotional service, Shravan means hearing, Adi means beginning with, Adi means first. Beginning with hearing, then it will rise. What is it? Shravanadi Shuddhachite Kareye Udoy. Yeah. Yes, it will rise like the moon rises at night. It will rise within your heart. The thing is, it's already there to start off with, whereas these things we study at school and university, they're not already there within your heart. Like, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I'm pretty good at doing that. But like, the Afrikaans language is not within your heart. But if you sort of, push it into your head strongly enough, you get it after a while. Ik kan een klein beetje Afrikaans praten. Maar niet bij goed. Yeah, Afrikaans is pretty easy. Try Russian. Woo. It's more or less like learning Sanskrit. Anyway, at school you just drum things into your head, but it's not that those things are already there. You're just pushing them inside until they get so much inside, you can sort of just spout them off anytime. That's material education. But the development of Krishna consciousness, love for Krishna, Nitya Siddha, the eternal perfection of Krishna Prema, of love for Krishna, Sadhya Karunoi, is already within the heart of every living entity. It just needs to be facilitated to come out, that's all. Then it comes. It's not like drumming some foreign language into your head or something along those lines. And actually, Srila Prabhupada gives an example to illustrate the principle. The example he gives is of a child learning to walk. At least materially, It is a natural part of the human condition to be able to walk. And that's why every single last one of us here can walk. Every single one. Because it's a natural part of the human condition to be able to walk. And unless you've got some serious physical disability, otherwise everyone can walk. But when you're born, you can't walk. But then you gradually pick it up. Are you familiar with that photo of Srila Prabhupada when he was staying at the house of the first family that he stayed with in Butler, Pennsylvania in 1966? And the child, the little child in nappies, stood up on his own for the first time. Prabhupada took his hands. You're familiar with that photo? And Prabhupada's like, he's in ecstasy, you know, got this big smile. Yeah. So it is part of the human condition to be able to walk, material condition. But it is not part of the human condition to be able to fly. And you can practice flying, and I don't mean in an aeroplane, I mean you personally, flying. You can practice as much as you like, and you will never be able to fly. You'll never be able to fly. You know, the first people who tried to fly, they built wings and attached them to their arms and jumped off buildings. Buildings or, you know, like hills or whatever. And I saw years and years and years ago a program on television about flight, the development of flight. And they explained how people did this. Like a 3-story building, 4-story building, jump off the top, flap your wings, and get smashed. Oh yeah, broken bones. Because it's just not part of the human condition. Of course, I'm sure many of us have flown before. So, you know, it is possible for us to fly. But you have to pay a lot of money. You got to pay money just from here to Joburg. You got to pay hundreds and hundreds, or I don't know, maybe 1,000 rands or something. But the bird flies from here to Joburg for nothing. Yeah. So you see, it's very unnatural. And because we're clever, we figure out a way to do it, but it's very complicated and very costly. Like, you know, swimming, but you can't stay underwater for, if you can do 2 minutes, then you're pretty special, because it's not part of the human condition to be able to live underwater. You got to get aqualungs and, you know, equipment, and then you can stay under for some time. But Krishna consciousness is there, the capacity. Not just the capacity, but love. Love for Krishna is there within our hearts. It comes out sometimes. Love for a girl or a boy, love for our parents, love for our children, to some degree. To some degree. Prabhupada would say, the closest thing in this world to pure love is the love of a mother for her child. Some mothers, they risk their lives. Child is in the burning building, and, it looks like it's too late, it's impossible. But the mother suddenly goes running in, and sometimes saves the child and sometimes dies. So that's Prabhupada made that point, and I think we can understand the idea. But then again, consider this. What is the biggest, if not the biggest, but certainly right up there amongst the biggest killer of humans? It's abortion. And what does abortion mean? Basically, it means the mother decided. The husband may say, or the man may say, no. But if the woman doesn't want to do it, have an abortion, she will not do it. And what about devotees? I won't tell you his name because some of you, many of you would have heard of him. He told me that on his 21st birthday, his mother's mother, his maternal grandmother, told him, said, look, there's something I want to tell you. It's your 21st birthday. I want to tell you this. So she said, when my daughter, your mother, was pregnant with you, she wanted to abort you, but I convinced her not to. So, take that. After 21 years of thinking, my mother, my beloved mommy, and you find out she wanted to kill you. Oh God. So even though it may be the closest thing to pure love, but, in many cases, material corruption comes in, and it's shocking, actually. It's shocking. So love, that pure love is there within, and it will come out if we facilitate it. Like a child, if they're encouraged to walk, and the parents hold them up, and they sort of struggle along, then they learn to walk quicker. So, that love for Krishna which is there can be brought out more quickly, or more slowly, or maybe not at all. But it can be brought out more quickly if we practice nicely, following the rules. Means doing the right things, avoiding the wrong things. That's all it means. Then that love will emerge from the heart quicker. And then you'll come to that point like Prahlad. Just literally no interest in getting anything for himself. Just no interest. Yes. And when he was forced to ask for something, he asked for something for his father, despite who his father was. So you get on the topmost planet, on the topmost planet actually, and topmost platform, someone like Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda is a very nice example given. Mother Yashoda is at home. Krishna goes out herding the cows. Balaram goes out with him. She's alone. Well, maybe some of her girlfriends are there, but otherwise she's alone at home. And she has to sort of take care of the home, clean and do that sort of thing. So she's cleaning up. And of course she's thinking of Krishna. And she's thinking, I want our house, our home, to be really nice and clean and fragrant and just, really like a welcoming atmosphere for when Krishna comes home. That's what she's thinking. So there she is cleaning away. And what does she see? One side. Just over there. Oh, look, what does she see? A little pair of shoes. And whose shoes are they? She recognizes, oh, these are Krishna's shoes. And she's already just absorbed in thinking of Krishna, totally in the mood of service. But when she sees Krishna's shoes, that mood, it just overflows and overflows. And she picks up the little shoes and looks at them and holds them to her heart and cries tears of love. These are Krishna's shoes. How wonderful. So, yes, without being sort of facetious, it's not that she's into shoes, but these are Krishna's shoes. These are Krishna's shoes. And they arouse her love for Krishna, which is already on a high level, but even to a higher level. So Srila Prabhupada talks about this principle in regard to devotees. That, well, Prabhupada, he gives an example. Back in the days when Prabhupada went to India, there were extremely few people from India in America. I mean, it's not like now. The places that there's many people from India in America. So it was rare, an Indian person like Prabhupada might go a week or 2 weeks without seeing another Indian. So Prabhupada gives the example that in such a situation, when a person, an Indian, sees another Indian, then it's like it's a special thing. Oh, you're from India. Oh, how nice to meet you. Which part of India are you from? Etc., etc. They immediately have a relationship. And Prabhupada, the way Prabhupada puts it is, they immediately love each other. Why? Because they love India. In a certain manner of speaking, they love India. Therefore, they're attracted to each other. And they love each other. And they may spend time together and meet up regularly afterwards. But it's all based on their love for their homeland, motherland. So Prabhupada then extends that. If we love Krishna, just like, in that sort of situation, there's just no Indian people around, and you finally meet one. It's really special. So if you love Krishna, then you'll see that everyone and everything is Krishna's. So you'll love everyone. This is my brother. This is my sister. And even creatures and even insects, you'll love them because you love Krishna. And you know they're part of Krishna. So therefore you love them. So like this, if we develop our Krishna consciousness, as Prabhupada is talking about here, by practicing, following rules and regulations, gradually that love will come. That compassion will come. Yes. And you'll act on it. So there you go, devotees. And you know, it's getting late. Someone should have stopped me. Why didn't you stop me? Come on, it's all your fault. I should have stopped you. Sorry. It's just a joke. But I have here 6 questions. And looking at them, I can see that either 6 of you have exactly the same type of handwriting, or one person has written all the questions. It's a mystery. One time, at Bhaktivedanta Manor, a phenomenon arose of devotee. There were 2 doors for coming in or going out of the building. And if you left your shoes at one door, but you had to go out from the other door, it was very inconvenient to go back and get your shoes. So a thing developed of just taking another pair of shoes. Oh yeah, it was a big thing. And you know, half the time we go out and your shoes wouldn't be there. So what would you do? Go out barefoot? I don't think so. You take someone else's shoes. So one time Prabhupada came out, and would you believe someone had taken Prabhupada's shoes? And Prabhupada said, where are my shoes? And the devotee said, Srila Prabhupada, I don't know. And Prabhupada said, oh, it is a great mystery. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to answer one of these questions. The first one. I would like for you to cast your mind back to 1977 November, when you were a new brahmachari in Bhaktivedanta Manor, when you heard that the founder Acharya of ISKCON has been sick for many months, while in Vrindavan. He'd been expressing a desire for some time that he was wanting to go on his final parikrama, padayatra. Could you please describe briefly the mood at the temple with you and the rest of the devotees, including the president? If you're referring to this idea of going out on a bullock cart around Govardhan Hill, we did not find out about that for ages, months. But we certainly knew that Srila Prabhupada was extremely unwell. And there was a prayer. It was in the temple room. Actually, it was in every temple room in ISKCON. In our temple room at the manor was over Prabhupada's Vyasasana. And that prayer was written and we recite it every day. Our dear Lord Krishna, if you so desire, please cure Srila Prabhupada. And this went on for months, few months. Yes. And then finally, we heard. So everyone was in that mood, praying for Prabhupada. Then finally, one day, it was the 15th of November 1977, the temple president, well actually one devotee, you may have heard of Damodar Goswami, he came up to where I was and he said, and he looked very solemn and, sort of, not happy. And he said that the temple president wants to see you. So I went down and Prabhupada had left this world at 7:30 the night before Indian time, but we didn't know yet. This was like mid-morning maybe, on the day after the 15th. So I went in and the temple president told me that Srila Prabhupada has left this world. He's passed away. And it was, I would say, it was stunning. That was the main sort of experience, the main feeling initially of being stunned. Like, because we did not expect it. There was an assumption that Srila Prabhupada was just going to continue living on indefinitely. So it was very stunning. And I remember when I walked out of his office and went back up to where I was doing my service, I remember thinking that that was like, him telling me that was like if someone told me the man from Mars has landed in central London. And I think, what? So that's crazy. That's ridiculous. So I was feeling like that, like stunned, and this can't be real, it's not real. Unfortunately, it was real. Yeah. And then one devotee came who had been there, Bharadraj Prabhu. He came, like the next day, I think the 16th, he had been there through the whole thing. And he gave class, explaining in elaborate detail for like a good 2 hours at least, all the things that had happened leading up, and then Prabhupada's final departure. And, at least in ISKCON in England, everything except the deity worship, everything stopped. Everything stopped. The preaching, the book distribution, all these things. The deity worship went on. Everything else stopped for a few days. But then after a few days, things started up again. So then I remember the next Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja, 78, Vyasa Puja. And, all the devotees were gathered, loads and loads of devotees at the manor. And Tribhuvanath Prabhu, very amazing devotee, he read the offering of, would you believe, Harikesh at the time Swami. Harikesh, he read his offering, which was, because he was Prabhupada's intimate servant, it was describing how he would interact with Prabhupada, how Prabhupada would interact with him, and like going through a day or a period of a few hours of, detailed interaction. And Tribhuvanath was reading this, and he just couldn't control himself. Every sentence he would stop, and tears would just be coming. So it took, 10 or 15 minutes to read the whole thing. And in the temple room, there's a few hundred devotees. And there was everybody, every single person was just in tears. Just every single person. Because it was like we are there with Prabhupada. We're there with him through this very intimate, detailed description of the rendering of service to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I'm really sorry It's almost 9 o'clock. I'm keeping you up past your bedtime. We will have to tell you a bedtime story. But it's Friday, so it's okay. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna. So thank you so much, Maharaj, for such an excellent class, such profound wisdom. We are truly blessed to have your association. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. We do have 2 gifts that Maharaj will personally hand out. Madhurya Mataji has requested for Jiva Prabhu to please come forward and accept the first gift. Is Jiva Prabhu here? So these gifts are Srila Prabhupada's chanting. That is, it's an electronic box that Srila Prabhupada's chanting in it. Very auspicious. We have one more gift. Is there anybody that would like to come forward and accept the gift? Please don't be shy. Anyone want to come forward? Somebody that's here for the first time. Come to Mataji. Let's give her a round of applause.
Hare Krishna.
We also have Bhagavad Gitas that were very lovingly sponsored by Krishna Sharan Prabhu and Nirupama Radhika Mataji. Is there anybody that would like to come forward and accept a Bhagavad Gita from Raj? Even if you have a copy, you could take one for a family or a friend. Anybody would like to come forward? You can also come and take the Bhagavad Gitas later. After the program, you can see Madhurya Mataji, but this is a wonderful opportunity to take it straight from Viraj. Anybody would like to come forward? Once again, those that are here for the first time. Those that are here for the second time. Sridhar Krishna Prabhu is here to cheer you on. Second time, third time, anybody? Vamsi Gita Mataji, come forward. Let's give her a round of applause. I think she just needs a little bit of cheering. Okay, due to time constraints, we have offered last time, anybody would like to come through to take a Bhagavad Gita? If not, you can see Madhurya Mataji at the end of the program. Also, Naveen Prabhu has sponsored calendars for 2025. He is unfortunately not here today, but he has very lovingly sponsored these calendars, and once again, you can see Madhurya Mataji after the program for these calendars. Sridhar Krishna Prabhu would like to address us for a few minutes. Make an announcement.
Hare Krishna. Let's give our wonderful MC a round of applause also. I was just asking Manji to say that we should remember this is the 50th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada's arrival in South Africa. So all our Namahatta programs should have that kind of consciousness and remembrance of Srila Prabhupada. I would like to thank Maharaj for giving us those remembrances about Srila Prabhupada, which actually made us more Prabhupada conscious. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Smita Krishna Prabhu. Yes, it is the 50th anniversary and there is so much of planning and preparations and programs that are taking place. So please do join us for these celebrations. I just have a few announcements, please bear with me. So as you all know, we have Namahatta every alternate Friday. So our next Namahatta is on the 14th of February. And we have His Grace Sundarananda Prabhu and His Dharampatni, Her Grace Prema Manjari Devidasi that are coming from Indonesia to spend a few days here in South Africa. And we are very fortunate that they will be here with us on the 14th of February. So we look forward to having everybody here with us. They are doing excellent work in Indonesia, spreading Krishna consciousness, serving Srila Prabhupada's mission. So please do join us on the 14th of February for this program. Also on the 21st of February, which is the very next week, Friday, we have His Grace Agnidev Prabhu that will be here in South Africa. He'll be here for a week and we are so fortunate that he is coming to our Namahatta on the 21st of February. So please save these dates, come through and take association of these wonderful devotees that will be here visiting us in South Africa for a very brief amount of time. So it's so important that we take the opportunity to have their wonderful association. On Sunday, it is Food for Life. As you all know, we have a Food for Life kitchen here. Every week we are cooking and serving the community. Please do come through. It's this Sunday at 9 o'clock. And Mahaprasad Prabhu and Madhurya Mataji are always eager to have everyone come through and engage in this wonderful service opportunity. So we've had a few birthdays in our. I'd like to call Subhadra Mataji forward, Krishna Priya forward, Keegan Prabhu and Kenny Prabhu. They are the four lovely devotees that have celebrated their birthday. Let's give them a round of applause. Harino! They are all such wonderful devotees. Subhadra Mataji, I'm sure many of you all know her. Such a wonderful devotee, always supporting our Namahatta as well, coming and attending our programs. She's very well known in our congregation. Krishna Priya, you all may know her. She's also on Lotus FM, she's a DJ. And we have Kenny Prabhu that's here always helping. He's Madhurya Mataji's next door neighbor. And I'm sure many of you all remember Keegan from our 10th campaign. He was Poovi that took part in the skit that we had. And he's always very eager and enthusiastically serving. So a very happy birthday to all of you all. May you all grow in your Krishna consciousness. May you all have an amazing year ahead. And on behalf of all of us, we wish you all the love. And amazing.
Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna, dear devotee, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Rama to you, Hare Rama.
So, I'm just going to give the opportunity to our birthday girls and birthday boys if anyone would like to say a few words.
I Danvat and Pranam to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees here. This was a really surprise. I never expected that because I don't like to celebrate my birthday. It's not such a big day. But everybody else, they appreciate and they do so much and it's really spoiled me. And today is such a big day. Maharaj is here and he blesses. So I wonder, we all have to be here all the time actually. Sometimes I miss here because I have so much to do and driving in the night and all that kind of things. But don't see me if I'm not coming. You must come here and associate with Mataji, Prabhuji and such great devotees here. Continue doing that. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhu. I never expected your speech first time. First thing I would like to thank all of you for coming here tonight. Thank you. And I would really love to thank all of you for birthday greeting and gifts that I received. Thank you for my birthday yesterday. I truly appreciate it very much. And thank you so very much. And a special thanks goes to Mataji and Prabhu for opening the door and welcoming us to the home. For Namahatta, for Krishna Council, and for Krishna. And I would like to thank my sister Mataji for being with me throughout the night. And I would love to thank Maharaj for tonight. Thank you very much. And all to the son of Namahatta. I feel appreciate it. And our MC, everyone.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Okay guys, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, how are you all? I hope everyone's okay. I know we pushed the time, so I'm going to be honest. I had a lot of jokes prepared for tonight, but I was told to switch them off and put them away. So I prepared a few words. Maharaj, just bear with me on this bit. But even though the uncertain people's faces, I will put this away. I just say from the heart. Kenny, thanks for stealing half of my speech now. But I would also like to thank everyone at the Namahatta. Obviously Madhuri Mataji and Mahaprasad Prabhu and all the devotees that I've come to know. And from last year, the 19th of Jan was my first Namahatta, and since then this year has been an incredible blessing and journey. From each and every one of you, I've actually learned something, so please forgive me when I keep asking you questions. Don't get irritated, I'm actually trying to learn. And I've applied those learnings, and it's actually helped me to grow in my spiritual journey. One thing I do know, just quickly side note, if she's got a golden mic in her bag as a backup, someone needs to deal with that. But on a serious note, I want to really thank everyone. You've all contributed and helped me on my Krishna conscious journey. I think Srila Prabhupada did speak a lot about it in his lectures and in the Bhagavad Gita, where he says that you can't just read the Gita and understand it in a mundane way. You have to have good association. And I think those people that are fortunate to come to Namahatta every week or once, whenever they can, I think you should realize how fortunate we are to have this ability to associate with all these devotees of the year, from senior devotees, Maharajas. It's amazing. So I just want to thank everyone. And before handing the microphone back to the mic auntie, I just want to tell you all that this cake you're seeing here is not real. This is a fake cake. It's a demo cake. You guys are caught up in Maya. I will be taking this cake to my booth and returning it back to the cake showroom it came from. So if you do see cake on your plates, just say no, because in the famous words of Madhurya Mataji, Krishna already blessed you. And I do have one thing that I would like to say, okay guys, and this may be corny, so please forgive me, but roses are red, violets are blue, this Namahatta rocks, and so do all of you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Hare Krishna devotees. I think I'm a bit too nervous to speak in front of Maharaj. Very presenter, but in front of Maharaj I'm just Krishna prayer, you know. I just wanted to say thank you so much for attending. Maharaj, thank you so much for honoring us with your grace, for the beautiful lecture. We're looking forward to many more Namahattas with you, many more chanting of Kirtans, Hare Krishna, and eating prasadam together, celebrating more birthdays together. I think we've all become one big family, and I can see that the family is growing. I'm really happy to see that. See you all the next time as well. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Shriyan, for sharing such heartfelt words with our Namahatta. Thank you. And once again, we wish all a very blessed year ahead. So we will now move on to the last part of our program, and that is Aarti, and we'll have some ecstatic kirtan to follow that. So please, may we all rise. Thank you once again for attending this evening's Namahatta. And we have Santos Prasad waiting for you all. Safe travels back home. Thank you once again, and thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare